of this interferon. So therefore, whatever this thing is, they know that also it is the most powerful or the most expensive aspect of any kind of thing that can basically cure. If it can cure muscular sclerosis, that means it can cure damn near any disease in the world. Why? Because even when they tell you about children, the children have a 2 or 3 year immune system. Their immune system is no. So they say something about they are immune.
2 years. That's why you have to give them shots for 2 years. Well, so the whole first year they do shots. Because
they are not immune, or they are immune for 2 years.
They are immune.
They are immune. That's what I'm saying, right?
They make you give them.
Oh, that's why they got to get right to offset that. Exactly, yeah, to reverse that. They are, because what I'm saying was children are immune for damn near 2 years. So now if they're immune for 2 years, that means we're still talking about the most potent form of melanin there is, and that's what this stuff with this doggone interferon is. The most potent form of this particular melanin. So now you got to find out whatever type thing they're doing, even with the babies, as far as the whole concept of the babies, in the concept of how they got access.
See, when those babies escape, the immune, those that don't go and get the shit that makes them unimmune, those that do escape, they come in with a whole new pitch, dealing with the trans-European of expression of the music, because they changed the pitch again. That's why
the whole thing with the music. But it's a multiplicity of things that is going on. But here again, when they announced a month ago. Now, it was interesting because they announced a month ago based on they had the interferon. One of the sisters from Chicago came in and when she went to the internet to do the work on the interferon, all she got was all this secretively over the last couple of years is this muscular sclerosis research. She got all this research that was being cured by interferon, but yet they did announce right before Christmas that they can cure muscular sclerosis. Now here it goes again. You got the whole interferon thing that's going on now. This is one of the keys. Now this is one of the mysteries, because you got to tie this shit in. If Bush this past Tuesday or Wednesday, said that now we are taking billions of dollars to cure AIDS in Africa. How are they going to cure the AIDS in Africa? That's the mystery with interferon. See, what it is they got to make something available. When you find out where it comes from, you're going to be like, this is some bullshit. But if it cures AIDS, and if it cures the Africans, see the mystery? You somehow won't mind it. See how this thing go? Oh well, you got to take the good with the bad. You see what I'm saying? Remember I had all this stem cell research bullshit that was going on? Stem cell research and all this kind of thing. See, all that shit, because for ain't no research when it comes to their shit, because they little ass ain't nothing but what they call a clump of puss and stuff. You really it's a hybrid. So it ain't about them. All this shit they're talking about is black children. You see, what's that, sister?
If I'm kind of confused. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Joe Pookrum said that the darker a person is, the more melanin they have.
No, they got that wrong. The darker a person it is, see, this degree of melanin, see, this is the thing about it where people, you got to study the melanin aspect. Okay, the darker a person is, the more melanocytes they have in their pigment, the more melanin they have on surface to protect them from the harmful rays of the sun. But the melanin, this research and the real melanin that they talk about when they talk about the melanin research of a people, including melatonin, is melanin in the central nervous system. There's a difference. Melanin in the central nervous system. Melanin in the central nervous system. So you have the basic melanocytes, where you in your pigmentation, based on the more you have, the more darker you are, the more you have more melanocytes or more melanin in the surface skin, and that probably has a lot. That has a lot to do with anti-aging and different things like that. But as a race of people, and as people that's left on the planet that's not hybrid, which is artificial. The melanin research that they're talking about is in the central nervous system.
Where AIDS can't live.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is also too. In this, but what I'm still trying to clear, just to say this particular part here too. I'm answering to your question is the melanin in the central nervous system is the key aspect, and that can be on that has to be on the same degree production as, although the melanocytes doesn't have it, it doesn't have it. The melanin in the central nervous system, whether you black, is the same degree production in the aspect of it comes from the metaphysical aspect of the soul produces this melanin. The carbon is produced from a particle of light that's inside of the body. This is metaphysical aspect that most of the, unfortunately, when you're dealing with medical and chemical aspect, those are byproducts of greater mysteries into this particular thing here. Because melanin is what is called an occult science, and occult means hidden science, and it's dealing with the metaphysical aspect. And in that particular case, the melanin that we talk about as far as black people is in the central nervous system, and it has nothing to do with the different hues of the skin. With the different hues of the skin, and that's the difference. And that's the difference. Now, when we talk about the central nervous system, we talking about, this is one of the keys, because most of you researchers, because we talk about the production of the pineal gland. Also, it's not only is it in the central nervous system, it's also in the gastrointestinal tract. To get the gastrointestinal tract and all, as well as dark eyes and brown hair, because you got a lot of light-skinned people with dark eyes and brown and dark brown hair also too, which we talk about an inner aspect. To give you an example, we talk about the inner ear nucleus, which is inside of where the pineal gland is, what actually gives you the sight. So sight comes from hearing. So the inner ear nucleus not only gives you hearing, but they said it gives you sight. That's in Richard King's book, African Origins of Biological Psychiatry. In his book on page 30-something, it's in there about the inner ear nucleus. So we're talking about an inner melanin that we're talking about here. Inner melanin that we're talking about here. What's that?
Apropos to that, I don't know if she's familiar with Carol Barnes' book, Melanin, the Key to Black Greatness. That's a good resource it's exactly what he's breaking down. It's a good resource to check out. Melanin, the Key to Black Greatness.
Melanin within.
Yeah.
By,
melanin.
Excuse me, by Carol Barnes.
Carol Barnes.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, the inner melanin, that's the one that they talk about. The other one is called what, UV melanin? I don't know. Well, there's Carol Barnes talk about UV melanin or whatever, but I know that melanocytes, that's the whole thing based on the pigmentation. Based on the pigmentation. Which also when we get information, see, there's several ways to get information. One way to get information is based on what is left behind archaeologically, anthropologically, and basically texts. But then again, there's another way also to get information, and that's also you can clear up information from the psychic realms, from the actual psychic realm. So there's several ways to get it. Because how did the original information get down here? It got down here based on someone channeling it from a higher source of energy, or a higher source of knowledge, or a higher entity form. So I asked this particular question because what I do, what my thing is in the occult realm or in the spirit realm is I'm always trying to revise history in the particular aspect. Not revise history, but trying to always clear up certain aspects of history that we don't have certain answers to. Now, I gotta take the immigrant humans and the human artificials. I did one in '93 and I did the other one in 2001, which is a follow-up, which about the the white man being created based on laboratory thing, and and the white man being created. And I had so much information from the 93 one. After the 93 when I had a great deal of information, after the 93 I had so much I had to do a second tape. So that's been, and literally like the Egyptians' own mouth, I found a text in 98 said that our biggest problem is we learned how to create another race of people. So, given that, there was still this thing that even in Richard King's book, African Origins of Biological Psychiatry, which is the prototype of the Melanin book, where he talk about there's still, what, 4% white people who have melanin. So we asked that question, well, is that based on race mixing through the bloodlines, or is that based on through the bloodlines or some other type of aspect? Well, we had two theories that was going on in the Afrocentric world and the conscious world. We had the original one where we contemplated that, which actually came from Elijah Muhammad and the whole Yaqub story type thing. Then you had the Diop and you had the scholars talk about climate adaptability and how the migration and climate adaptability. But yet when I was able to find a whole lot of the text, a lot of the texts I found are the same books that some of these people had was talking about some gene splicing. Well, hell, they clone in now. And they are not the master knowers. We were. So if they're doing the gene splicing now, what the hell you think we was doing damn 2,000-3,000 years ago, and we were the masters. So I found all this particular information, but the question here is, when I went to clear up a couple of things recently, right before Christmas in the spirit realm, I asked the question. Because I said, there's no doubt I found this information that said that there's genetic engineering in this thing. You don't have to take the Yaqub story as literal. That's a mythological tale to just give you some picture on something that went on as far as some experiments. So I also asked the question, well, in that case, well, what about this particular aspect of climate adaptability? And the spirit realm said both happened. They said, one, you did have a laboratory experiment that went on. They said, but the earth history is so old until also they had a part of a history where they had climate adaptability, where you had a group of people that had some type of climate adaptability over the course of thousands and thousands of years. And they said, well, this would also constitute for, number one, some white people that do shit black. You be like, how the hell that motherfucker do this shit here? You know what I'm saying? Like that damn boy, that boy that was on the boy that was on what's the shit that they just won? American Idol, that white boy from fucking whatchamacallit. If you notice, that white boy could sing soul and he could sing all the show tune shit. And when you really look at it and stuff, the white boy was actually better than Reuben. If you really listen to Reuben is flat. Reuben can't hold a candle to the ones. See, this is the problem what happened with this with the whole Reuben thing. We get naturally want him to win, but if you notice, Reuben was good with the Luther and all that kind of shit here. But when he tried to sing other stuff, he's kind of flat. You see what I'm saying? He was kind of flat. One reason why is just based on training. We have so many great people that go before us until we can go before us until what happens sometime is we can bite off another person's style. What they don't realize about people like Luther. Luther worked in the damn industry for about damn near 6, 7, 8 years before he became popular. Luther was on a lot of the albums from the mid-70s. He didn't become popular till after he did Change, and then he did Never Too Much. But Luther could sing a variety of things. If you really listen to that white boy, that white boy could sing all kind of shit. That motherfucker was fluid in his shit. I said, wait a minute, I'm listening to this shit here, and I said, I want to be fair with you. Oh, wait, this goddamn white boy was actually better. Now, what was going on here is not to say that Reuben wasn't talented, but see, what's happening with us is we are losing a lot of our originality because we got so many people that we copy after now. You see, like Duke Ellington said, he said when you hear black music, you can't even damn categorize it with when it comes to critics. He said because you're hearing it for the first time. It wasn't done before. So Luther was doing some shit that wasn't done before him, just like a Barry White was doing some stuff that wasn't done before him. Just Al Green come up with a goddamn sound that wasn't done before him. You see what I'm saying? When we was doing some stuff, when James Brown, they was doing this shit for the first time. Now you got a lot of the youngsters now, because in most of the mainstream, this mostly hip hop. So you don't have the innovation that's going on where somebody's creating new. So most of the stuff, if you notice, he was good with the Luther stuff, and he was good with some of the soul stuff, but he wasn't as good. Well, because if you look at some of the other entertainers, them motherfuckers, they were so talented. Them motherfuckers could sing damn near anything. You see what I'm saying? So he was good, but I was looking at the damn white boy, I'm like, damn, the white boy can sing soul shit. The motherfucker, you know, he was singing soul stuff. He could sing them show tunes, and he could sing a whole lot. I said, this motherfucker, he got some damn versatility like a damn Negro used to do. It's like Sammy Davis Jr. This motherfucker can do anything. Basically, this nigga, you know, Sammy Davis Jr. was always into an identity crisis, but he could do anything. See this cat, any kind of, as far as performance, when it comes to acting, singing, dancing, he can do anything. And you got a Negro like that now, Wayne Brady. This cat can do anything. They had him on a CBS special. ABC had him on, you know, they don't never want nothing to work. And he had Most Def to come on. And so they both got out there and they said, y'all, we want anybody to pick any subject known to man and we gonna rap on it. So the white people say, okay, cool, we gonna come up with some crazy shit. We gonna come up with some crazy shit. And him and Most Def went out there and they picked some crazy shit, like some pancake shit. And them motherfuckers was rapping and the shit was so fluid. You see what I'm saying? But this cat, he can do all kinds of, this guy, he's multi-talented. So what it is what I'm trying to say here is, because we got so many people that came before us, we're not developing our own style and stuff like the other ones. When a lot of those people did stuff in our past, because we got so much great entertainment, they were doing that shit for the first time. You see, what's that?
Yeah, because I guess even the young kids, you can play old music like my age group, right? So we had so many talents, but they don't want to hear it. The white kids go and study the older music and pay more attention to it than our young kids do. So when you hear them sing, it's so shocking to us to hear them, right? But our kids don't go back and listen to the old music. And something them happens to their programming where they don't even like it.
Well, that's what I was watching Drumline today, that movie Drumline, and the guy was saying he's talking about Earth, Wind and Fire and other people. And I don't know, he didn't want to hear that shit. He named about 3-4 rappers. He said, well, all of them sampled him. They were like, oh shit. You see, but it's interesting here. It's interesting here because I remember back in '98 and '99, I met a group of white children going to Georgia State, and they was into Miles Davis, Coltrane, but they wasn't even into the classical stuff. They was into the '70s jazz, like Herbie Hancock, and you know, and a couple of people that with '70s jazz, huh? Weather Report, and they was into a lot of stuff, but they was into all this stuff here. And what it was is, and the thing about it wasn't like them grad students or something. These was freshmen. So whatever it was, and this was like the first semester, and I'm like, well, damn, these motherfuckers learning this shit in high school. So what it is these white people, they got a whole group of people, they training them with our shit in high school. You see what I'm saying? So in 1996, the #1 jazz player in the country to graduate high school was a white boy. The #1 blues singer in 1998 was a damn white boy. You see what I'm saying? So they're picking up all of that particular stuff and also all that time, and it's very versatile. It's very versatile. So when I was looking at the stuff, I said, I'm trying to look at this thing. I said, I understand Rufus, but goddamn Rufus, you ain't unique. It's okay, you can sing, but it's not as if that you just came with a new vulgar music. I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, you singing to get through this damn thing and stuff, but You're not singing now. You're not singing a new vocal music. Now the girl that they voted off, she looked like she had a little more potential. The one from Tennessee that they what you call it and all. But I was looking at the white boy, and this goddamn white boy, this white boy here, this motherfucker singing all kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? And here it goes again. It don't have nothing to do with the ability. It has something to do with the actual talent. Huh? Yeah, and in this particular case, they got our people on lockdown, just like it's the same thing of this. We all thinking in one monolithic tune. You understand what I'm saying? So somehow they done trained them all that somewhere in the song they're gonna do that little flurry thing that Luther used to do. You know, everybody do the same shit. Even got the white children doing the shit. And I'm like, you taking gimmicks, but you retarding the talent. There's supposed to be some new shit created in the game. And that's the thing about all the ones that came before them. Michael Jackson was unique. You see what I'm saying? And you see what I'm saying? Prince was unique. They was out the same damn time. They was totally different. You see what I'm saying? They was totally different. Isaac Hayes had his own shit. And then Barry came out that had a voice like Isaac Hayes. Everybody thought it was Isaac Hayes at first. But then again, on the other hand, he had a whole other new music range that he was doing. You see what I'm saying? So it's that kind of thing also that's going down. But going back to this little thing I was trying to talk about as far as the creation. There is some type of climate adaptability, but those are some type of darker haired people on the earth that they got this mutant mixed up in with. Take for instance in Asia. Most of the other Asians say that the Japanese are the white people of Asia. You see, or the white people of Asia. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of, but it's interesting. Well, you say, well, how do you say it? Well, look at who the white man favors, the one he makes the rich. He would favor the white Arab over other ones and stuff like that and all. But then again, on the other hand, he would favor the white Arab. But it was Afghanistan and all that he blew into smithereens also. But check this out. Afghanistan, they're not even Arabs. They are some type of East Indian type people. Yeah, right. You see, so it's some stuff. You can tell the ones that he made the richest is the ones that's the mutant. They have isolated the hybrid of the certain land. And the ones that's the most hybrid is the one that they make their friends of the race. So they got certain sectors of race. They'll make the one that's the most hybrid and the most violent or whatever the type thing here, because we know that China got a whole nigger element. You see what I'm saying? And they always been sequestering them people, especially the black part. And then again, on the other hand, but they went to war with Vietnam, who has a whole black element. You see what I'm saying? With a whole black element. So you talking about white supremacy on the planet that still, they even can go in and they done the science so they can look and they can get the hybrid or the imitation one out of the indigenous people and different things like that. And it's a whole lot of stuff that's actually going down. This actually going down. Well, give me some questions so we can. I want to say one thing, a couple things, because I started with Cuba when I first started out. So now going back, Cuba was supposedly taken over by Castro, but people don't understand Castro was a United States man that was supposed to oust Batista. Now one thing that Cuba had at the particular time, Havana had, it was different than Vegas. Vegas was still up and coming. Vegas came out of the shadows from the 1930s, 1940s, and it started becoming a main attraction in the late 40s and the 50s, and so they got their bearings, and by the 60s, they wanted to be the entertainment capital of the world in the particular aspect of gambling, casinos, and shows and all that. Havana, on the other hand, number one, had one thing different. Havana, number one, not only was it tropical, but Havana, Cuba, had the real magic. Vegas had the magic as well as the light shows and all this kind of thing here, magicians and the illusion of entertainment. But Havana had a rich culture of the Palo, the Obia, the Santeria, and they had all these spiritual things. Plus they had the vice, they had the gambling, they had all that. So they had to shut down that because it was a spiritual. So when you add those types of elements in with spiritual shit, you really got a festival. That's what your whole festival is, that you see people going to carnival and the whole thing that you see going on in New Orleans and stuff. Well, Havana was all of that. So what they had to do, they had to shut this thing down, but they also had to shut it down because of Palo. Palo was the most powerful form, more powerful than Yoruba and Voodoo and all of that, and they had to shut the Palo thing down. Now all of a sudden now they're opening up Cuba. They're opening up Cuba. And come to find out, they're saying that Castro was behind the whole shit with the government. Castro was the friends of the government the whole time. See, come to find out now, they're saying that the government sends Castro, and been doing this shit since 1963 or 1961. They send Castro, they send him something like $200 million, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Castro been receiving from the American government. And Dick Gregory broke that shit, the Freedom of Information Act. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that they give us, like they come to find out that your boy, Thurgood Marshall, was a fucking spy for the fucking CIA. You see what I'm saying? That's why they got him down with the whole shit where he came in, it's all in the Freedom of Information Act. Well, come to find out that Castro was being paid off to make that an isolated area of communism. It's all a part of the elaborate scheme of the government. And one of the things was that he had to lock down the Palo and also the other traditional African traditions. Now, since this stuff is let up, the Palo stuff now, they starting to open up Cuba. Then in January, in August, they started translating these books, and in December they came out with this particular one now called The Book on Palo by Baba Raoul Canizares. And Palo is like one of the most powerful strains of the spiritual aspect. And this is some of the last few stuff that actually works. It's Palo, and this is by Baba B-A-B-A Raoul R-A-U-L Canizares C-A-N-I-Z-A-R-E-S C-A-N-I-Z-A-R-E-S. And this is coming from Original Publications. You can either call www.originalpub.com, or you can call 1-888 occult OCCULT. That's the way OCCULT -1 1-888 OCCULT-1. And this is one of the new books that's also coming out.
You can also download that off the internet under the name Apollyon.
What's it?
Apollyon.
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 That's also, it's another way of saying apocalypse. Or apocalypse now. It's Apollyon.
Did you see anything with the Palo though? With this?
Yeah. You can download it on Apollyon.
Yeah.
Under the name of Apollyon.
Now this is the other thing here we'll be referring to some of these also. This is the book called The Dictionary of All Ancient Deities. The Dictionary of All Ancient Deities by Patricia Turner and Charles Russell Coulter, C-O-U-L-T-E-R. Patricia Turner and Charles Russell Coulter, The Dictionary of All Ancient Deities. Now this one here is probably one of the best books the white boy done put out. Not only that, they even got Diop up in this book, and they don't use no Diop for shit. They got Diop up in this particular book as one of the sources of where they're getting a lot of their African deities. But this book has every deity known to man except Palo, because Palo was just locked. It would even have Palo up in there, because they got Voodoo and Yoruba. It would have Palo up in it's called the Dictionary of All Ancient Deities. But it would even have Palo up in there if this stuff wasn't locked down up until December. Because this book came out in 2000, and this book here just was translated in August. The book on Palo. So this particular one here is the one to get, because this particular book here has every deity you want to name, which is very key. You got to turn that on? Okay, see.
Change tape.
Change tape, okay, yeah.
How you spell the Charles Russell?
Coulter, Coulter, and Patricia Turner. This is in the mythology section.
Type in Apollo 13. That'll come up. It comes under the name Apollyon or Apocalypse. I studied that. They're dealing with Apollo.
No, that is Apollo, the Greek god Apollo.
Yeah, but it's what it falls up under Apollo.
But this is Palo, P-A-L-O. This is the down in Puerto Rico, which is with the darkest strain, and also down in Brazil. This stuff here has only been allowed in the West since December.
I've been knowing about that.
I mean, there's people that, I'm trying to say there's people that they are Apollo practitioners.
Yeah.
Just like there are fucking people from Cuba and people from the Caribbean that's in the country. But as far as information that was available for it,
Okay.
you couldn't go to the store and buy books on Palo up until now. They had the one Palo Manombe, which came out in '94. But this one here just came out. This is one of the few, and this one just came out. Now this particular book here, the reason why I'm recommending these books here is because for some reason, black people, we are still too stuck in sectarian forms of things, which means this here. We'll get interested in Egypt, and we'll study some stuff on Kemet. And something about our minds is so fucked up, we will never look over into. Somehow we can't get the comparative thing. So that's why I take a motherfucker like me to come and teach. Because the simple fact is I've been dealing with the comparative thing. I don't just stop in one thing. So you'll get a group of people, they'll study Europa. They can't go into the other ones and stuff, because something about our mind, we fucked up. It's like the Christianity shit. So we'll go into Moors, we'll go into this, we separated. We can't damn put shit together, because something about our mind, we're very sick people.
Left, right, we compartmentalize everything.
We compartmentalize everything, and also we can't. But so the reason why I say get this particular book, because after each deity, they'll say, they'll say, compare with such and such, and it'll be some deity in another system. And that's the thing about it, why we can't understand. All these systems, I've been talking about this for years, are fragmented. And by their being fragmented, you can't go to one system and get the complete nourishment or the complete gospel truth. You have to understand, we got to put all this stuff together, because, and I've been talking about this because of the ancient world, there is no complete system that is left. So that's why I recommend this kind of book, because after you read whatever deity, it'll say compare with such and such from Egypt, such and such from Samaria, such and such from Mexico. And so, in order to get a greater synopsis on things, you need to understand the different systems. But it take a whole lot of, now that you got a library and you a research like that, it take a whole lot of fucking money to go and buy different ones, and then they come up short because they got a very limited part. These mugs did their homework. So therefore, in this one book, this book here, I'm recommending this book, because this one book for $22.50, and it's over 700 pages. It's over 500 pages, plus bibliography and index. This one book, you can get all of the deities. You know, you can get all of the deities from West Africa. It says the most comprehensive reference ever compiled on ancient deities in the tradition. They got everything in every tradition. So they got everything from Native American, African cultures, and stuff. Plus, anytime these moms put Diop up in here, you don't see him in nothing. Anytime they put Sheikh Anta Diop in here, this is the one to get. And you can find this in the mythology sections of either Barnes and Nobles or Borders. But this is the one to get on. It can help you along with a lot of stuff.
You know, it's funny you was talking about the between Congo and Cuba, right?
Yeah.
You ever listen to Congo music? It sounds identical to Cuban music. I mean, it sounds identical.
See, yeah, the Congo, and see, it's interesting here, because the Congo, which is very key about the Palo thing, is because this here. White boy did a book, Flash of the Spirit, and was in Charleston. And he said that most of the slaves, or most of the ones in this particular area, South Carolina and North Carolina, and stuff, come from fucking Congo, especially South Carolina. They come from the Congo, Africa. Which is interesting, because you got to understand The government studies so much stuff, and they study so much as far as migration. It is key that one of the greatest secrets is they had, especially South Carolina, they had to keep South Carolina on lockdown. They had to keep South Carolina on lockdown because it is like one of the hidden mysteries of slavery. In South Carolina, it's rich in some of the most culture. We know that for the simple fact in American system, the only one that has the culture left behind and still got the same linguistic terminology is the Gullah and the Geechee. You know, the whole Geechee Gullah thing. So the key here is this Congo thing here, which is some of the most potent one. That Congo is the middle of Africa, the equatorial part of Africa. So this is very key on this stuff, and also related with these particular areas, the Carolinas. Now, one guy had already done a study, and the brother was from down Buffalo, New York. Had done a study on Carolina, and the words, he traced them all the way back to India. You get Ka, which is Indian, and Indian, East India, and Egyptian combined, because we still talking about Kushite. Ka, Ra, La, Na, all of those things. You get the NA, you get Anana, you get the NA, you get that in Samaria, which is all Kushite. The NA, you get Ka, you got Ra, you got Ka, you got La, you got all those types of things and stuff. You see what I'm saying? You get all those particular things, you know, in the Carolinas. So and why is it they got two South Carolina and North Carolina? The next thing you got. We know that the Dakotas come from the Dakota Indians. And then all of a sudden you get South Dakota, North Dakota. You see what I'm saying? So it's very key that particular aspect why they keep a lot of people on lockdown in these areas. In these particular areas and stuff like that. Especially in the two Carolinas. Because not only that, they can track it. Some of your greatest talent come out of this particular area also too.
Coltrane.
Yeah, Dizzy Gillespie.
Earl Hines.
You see all that stuff. Dizzy Gillespie. Monk, yeah, you see all that, see? You know, even come to find out that your boy don't even admit it, he's from yeah, I know that. And Wesley Snipes is from South Carolina.
And Nina Simone from North Carolina too?
Huh?
And Nina Simone from North Carolina?
Yeah. That's right. You see, so you gotta, you know, and then you got your Jesse and and stuff, but I'm just saying, you get James Brown was born in Barnwell, South Carolina. You see what I'm saying? Eartha Kitt. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people, what's that?
Oh, James Brown got his picture gracing his pages of Jet magazine with some old white woman he married to now.
Yeah, well, he's 70 shit,
Well, I mean, come on, Godfather, so if anybody's supposed to have a sister, he's supposed to have a damn sister.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know how it goes, shit, he's 70 hell. But, I mean, like I said, he's been an old black Chinese woman for years. Yeah. That's very key. Now I want to say this particular part here too, because this also has a lot to do with the Iraq thing, and I talked about this, but I want to put this down because I've been studying this passage for the last couple of months, since the 1st of March, right before they was going into Iraq. I've been studying this particular passage, and two things happened when I studied this particular passage. Now, this particular passage is coming from, this is the book called The Goetic Evocation by Steve Salvador. It's also by Steve Salvador. And it's also in a new book called, it came out right during 9/11, a big, thick book, a $35 book or something called The Lesser Key of Solomon. It's a big green book. Lesser Key of Solomon, or you can get this book here, The Goetic, Goetic Evocation by Steve Salvador, Savedow. Now, I've been studying this passage before the war even started, because I knew they was going up in Iraq to deal with something based on some portholes and deal with something based on a vortex and some spirits. Now, this is one of the keys. And as I kept studying this, at first, it looked like some stuff that had happened in the past. But then again, I also know something about mythology. Mythology is so advanced until they'll give you some stuff, and you'll think you read it in the past, and then within the lines, within 2 or 3 sentences, it can jump from the past into the future. It can jump from a couple of thousand years into the future within 2 or 3 lines of a sentence. And you see what I'm saying? And all. You see, they can do that and all. And so I'm reading this, and it was talking about Solomon going up into Babylon. Now, Solomon, in this case, is not a historical figure as what we think. It's a priesthood. A lot of these things that we think was historicalized was priesthood. And this particular thing, it was so old till that particular time when Babylon, at a particular time was around. Solomon wasn't even around in the line of the Hebrew things. You see what I'm saying? Solomon wasn't even around because we're talking about very ancient history. So Solomon has to be some type of priesthood. So in this particular case, we're talking about something that's coming out of the Typhonian Egyptians. Now this priesthood is saying this. Apparently, so we're going to look at Solomon as a priesthood. This is on page 81 of Steve Sabado's Goetic Evocation, which is one you can get from Shaitan Books out of you can order it ESCHATON books.com. www.ESCHATONbooks.com, because when you try to get this out of the store, white people won't sell it to you. Now, if you go in the store and get it in your hand, they'll sell it to you because they can't deny you getting books, because all the books, it don't supposed to be suppressed material. But if you ask them to order this book, they will never order it. They never order this book. But you can go and order it from the internet, or you can order it from the actual book company, because they don't know what color you are. But when they see you black and you say, I want to order Steve Sabado's book, Goetic Evocation, they won't order this book for you. But if you go in the store and one of these occult stores is on the shelf, you see, they'll give it to you. And one white man begged me not to buy this, and I was like, God damn. And you know, he had me for a while. He put up with the convincing stuff that this shit here wasn't nothing. It was old, it was outmoded, and this shit wasn't no good. Don't buy it. And I walked out the damn store and I got a street experience. You a goddamn fool. You gonna let a white man tell you not to buy something? I came, I said, man, give me that goddamn fool. He looked at me and grinned. But he knew he had to sell it. You see what I'm saying? Because also then, he figured he made a convincing case. If he sell the book, he figured, well, he ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it no way. But if he refused, he will know and say, hey, there must be something hidden in this particular book. So this particular one here, but this is the key here on page 84. So this priesthood of Solomon, now this is it encapsulates the whole war. You see what I'm saying? So the priesthood of Solomon, they go up into Iraq. Now here's what it says. There are 72 mighty kings and priests, which King Solomon commanded into vessels of brass, together with their legion. Well, number one, these are supposed to be demons of the Goetic demons. This is chapter 5, the Goetic demons on page 81. But here it's talking about 72 kings and queens. So you got to read between the lines of what we call demons and jinns and all that shit. Because here they say there's 72 mighty kings and princes in which Solomon commanded into vessels of brass together with their legions, of whom Belial, Belieth, Asmodai, and Gap were chief. It is to be noted that Solomon did this because of their pride, and for no other, for he never declared no other reason why he thus bound them. Talking about binding these demons, but they called them kings and queens. And when he had bound them up and sealed them in a vessel, he, by the divine power, did chase them into a deep lake or hole in Babylon. Now We know Babylon is later on ancient Persia. It's Babylonia, then it's Persia, and then it didn't become Iraq until like 1925. So it says right here that some priest put something in a hole in Babylon. And they of Babylon, wondering to see. Now, at first, I thought, when I read this particular passage, when I first read it, I thought that it was still in the past. Solomon bound something up into a vessel. So when I'm reading it, and I'm reading the whole thing, and this story is going on, I'm reading it as it's a story, I'm thinking this is something else. Now, he's something in the past. So here it is, you got some priest who bound something up and put it in a hole, a vortex, a stargate, or whatever in Babylon, which we know now is Iraq. Okay? So we do know that they did that. Get the movie Serpent in the Sky, where they take these souls and put them in little jars in Haiti. You see what I'm saying? Remember now, in the movie Serpent in the Sky, the guy said, I'm not crazy, but the guy who was mixing up this potion or mixing up this stuff in Haiti could give any Harvard medical student a run for their fucking money. You goddamn right. He's a master. Now, so now it's going to change. So they bound him up, and then it says, then they of Babylon, Iraq. See, you take the Iraq and put up in here, and then you start getting 5,000 years of history into the date. So now, then they of Babylon, wondering to see such a thing, did they go wholly into the lake? Well, that looked like the government or somebody going into the lake to get something that's over there. So this is history being unfolded. To break the vessel open, expecting to find a great storehouse of treasure therein. Well, here it is. We know they looted the museums and all that shit. But when they broke open the vessels, the chiefs immediately in their legions following them, and their legions following them. But when they broke the vessels open, out flew chiefs and spirits immediately with their legions following them. And they were all restored to their former places except Belial, who entered into a certain image and advanced the grave and thence gave answers unto those who did offer sacrifices to him and did worship their image as God. So all of them were restored to their former places before they were bound, except Belial, who was the chief, who was exalted to a high form of God. Now this is interesting here, because this is a form of history that's going on, as well as when they first went to Babylon or Iraq, they met up with the sandstorms, which are called Kamsin, which is called both spirits and storms. So when they broke open the vessel, when they first got them in there, dropping bombs, shooting, or whatever, the first thing they met was a doggone sandstorm. Like on the Mummy. See, a couple of movies that encapsulates this, that you can understand this, is The Mummy. They had the sandstorm. They also had the sandstorms in Mummy 2 with the whole desert. The Scorpion King, but they had those Anubis warriors. They had the Mummy, as well as get the movie Tomb Raider, when they were searching for some ancient artifacts, and it had something to do with time. It has something. I'm rolling that homeboy. I'm gonna do my thing. Right. I'm gonna do my shit. I'm rolling. Let me do my shit now. No, I'm in the zone now. Yeah. I can't have no interruptions.
Okay, well.
All right. So Tomb Raider, they're doing the same thing. You see what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing in the movie, where they gotta have some type of artifact with time, or they're dealing with some type of artifact with time. You see what I'm saying? And they had that whole thing. But the Mummy is a great movie to understand this type thing. Now, dealing with this, they broke open something. They broke open a vessel. And when they broke open a vessel, these things flew out, or these particular entities. Now, remember I was going back and I was saying that that your boy Richard Hoagland said that when they was over there, they had pictures of them holding up a flag upside down, which was a distress signal. Well, obviously, something is going on over there, and they can't get up out of it. Now, then they go announce last week that they need additional soldiers to come back. But they said they're going to keep what they got over there, and they say, but they got 100,000 soldiers in the region. But my point is, if you got 100,000 soldiers in the region, and you saying you need more soldiers, why do you need more soldiers to come to help 100,000 soldiers that's already over there for 2 or 3 people that's getting killed each day? You see, they say that each day now they're getting soldiers that's getting killed. White soldiers or American soldiers over there getting killed each day, because at this particular point, it don't make a fucking difference whether it's white or black. Any motherfucker over there fighting like a damn fool that's got to be stupid. So it don't really matter. But they're saying they need additional soldiers, and they said we're going to keep, and they said we are prepared to stay here as long as we want to until the job is over. Now, because that other shit they started doing at first was fake. A lot of shit was going on was fake, because now they got the little white girl over here. The little white girl got, that they rescued. You remember the little white girl they rescued? Now come to find out, she don't remember none of the damn shit. All the shit that they said she did, and she rescued, and they had her in all this stuff, and they had her on as some damn prisoner or something. She said she can't remember none of it. They done did tests on her and come to find out, she ain't got no amnesia. So obviously somebody has lied and trumped up the whole shit on her. You see what I'm saying? And they said she didn't need none of the doggone thing. You see what I'm saying? They say that she didn't remember. She's saying she don't remember none of this thing. So obviously they lied and trumped up this whole shit on her. Now they had a little ritual going before the white girl was found. The first ones they first announced, because see they opened that area. So they trying to enact something, even some biblical shit. So the first people they announced was before they later on found other ones that was prisoners. But the first 3 they announced together was a white soldier, the black girl, a black soldier, and some type of Filipino, which was an Asian soldier, which they always try to deviate this thing, the 3 wise men in the Bible, and always they show them in the 3 wise men in the Bible, it be some white soldier, a black soldier, and an Asian soldier. And they show that in the Bible. Well, when they first did it, now they had a later, so they ended up coming forward, and they had a little white girl they had to rescue. But the first day they had the little black girl, the white boy, and the Asian boy. I said, and I said, this is interesting. What are the odds to get a motherfucker from the Philippines is over there fighting, and he gets captured over there and all. You see what I'm saying? But then again, on the other hand, it changed from America fighting over there to this coalition shit. And there were 2 people fighting, mainly America and Britain. And they say Australia, which is nothing but Britain. You see what I'm saying? But they got the whole coalition thing. So the key here is going back. They over there, but there's some stuff that's going on over there, and it's much more severe. And they got people on alert. They got people on alert. They got the orange alert that never went off. The orange alert went up about a couple of weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, they put everybody on the orange alert. But when you go to the airport, it's still under orange alert. Well, see, the thing about it is, the key is, anytime you got a military state, the first place you sequester and lock down is the airport. So although the people are flying and shit, the airports are on lockdown already. You see, as a military state. So they don't have to come inland, but see, they're telling you, it's homeland security, not airport. But yet they got the airport on lockdown because each city, each major city, the airport is the way in and out. So they got that shit on lockdown. But all quiet is kept. The whole country is on lockdown. They just got it at the airport at this particular time because they already know. That's when you have a military state, that's the first place that you go and you run on, is you lock down the airport. You see, but it's on orange alert right now. But on the other hand, they over there and they're fighting in that area, and they still got 100. They still announced Tuesday they got 100,000 troops over there, and talking about they need additional troops, and they talking about it's getting ugly. Meanwhile, now they got the campaign already set for Iran and Syria. You know what I'm saying? And Syria. But yet we know the only people we know that is real terrorists is fucking the Israelis. They've been terrorizing for years, and anybody saying shit about them. You know what I'm saying? Killing people wholesale. You see what I'm saying? But Saddam Hussein, who works for the American government, is the evil one. But what about the Israelis and how they got people on lockdown? You see, this whole shit that's going on, and this whole thing is going on. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on now. Also, I'm going to get into some of this also tomorrow and all. Here is the, for the people, because this is as close as it's going to get on this side of the country, is the, I think, let me see if I got this piece of thing. Because I'm telling people to go make it to Chicago. Unfortunately, it was in Memphis for a damn near about 3 months, and we didn't know nothing about it at first, because when it first hit the country. And that's the British Museum. The British Museum. Well, they got one that's going to be in Baltimore soon. That's closer. It's going to be in the Baltimore. That's not going to be until September 21st. But on right now in Chicago at the Field Museum in Chicago, Illinois, they got the whole Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and they got the whole the British Museum pieces there. And it's like all the stuff that you see in the books on Hemmitt. A lot of that stuff, a lot of the stuff you do see, a lot of it's come from the British Museum. But I went to go see it in Kansas last May, and it was that much of stuff. It was like rooms full of shit of these pieces, the Egyptian artifacts. So this is called Eternal Egypt, masterworks of ancient art from the British Museum. But basically, the Book of the Dead and the judgment scene from the Book of the Dead is in Chicago right now. It's been traveling around the country, all with this whole war thing, even before 9/11. It first came in March to Toledo, Ohio, in March of 2001. Of 2001, and it's interesting here because it was in Memphis, Tennessee, which is Memphis, Egypt, during the time of 9/11. You see what I'm saying? During the time of 9/11. Then it was in the Brooklyn Museum, and most people from New York didn't even know about it. It was in the Brooklyn Museum from November the 23rd to February 14th. You see what I'm saying? So it's already gone to San Francisco, Kansas City. I got it in Kansas City, but now it is in Chicago. And it's the Book of the Dead and all that, and the judgment scene. But then again, on the other hand, there's curse. I talked about that the last time I was here. There's curse on all that stuff there for those particular people, and they had to get that judgment scene out of Britain. It's supposed to be. It's going to be in Baltimore on September the 21st to January the 4th, which is the last exhibit. So if you can make it to Chicago and see this thing here, because the key here is we talk about the oldest book in the world. Where we got this particular book will come up over by there, and they actually have the actual judgment scene of Osiris and Maya and that whole 9 yards right there. The actual one, the oldest one they got, the actual judgment scene, they have it there in Chicago. And these crackers done had this shit since 2001, before 9/11, and before 9/11. You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole ritual going on with that. It's a whole ritual going on with that, and which is interesting here because it's the last. Well, it's going to be there till January the 4th. But then again, it's in Chicago now, but it will also hit there on September the 21st. But remember now, all this stuff is still going on the same time that they got this second matrix, this third matrix, and it's going to come out on the 5th. Now, somebody said they got a whole movie called Underworld coming out in September. You see what I'm saying? Then, you got the Terminator 2 might come out with this whole thing that's going on. That's also going down. Now, that's going down. Couple of things here. A couple of things here is dealing with the dealing, and we'll get some more into this particular aspect, but one of the keys here also now here is, and I've been talking about this for the last 7 years, is also the water. The key here is we're still talking about the dehydration, and we're still talking about the water is one of the keys to keep people on lockdown, is to deal with the doggone water. Now what they did in Atlanta was, is they came in and they fired one water company. They got another water company to come in. And they did this because when they start digging up people's streets and putting in all kind of crazy stuff, the people will say, oh, well, that's just a new water company. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they're trying to shut down the kidneys. Because remember now, the word kidneys also comes from the word echidna, which also, they might have echidna in this particular book. And the kidney is also a form of the Great Mother. Is also a form of the Great Mother. Echidna. Echidna. So, and when we get this word kidneys, so which is one of the keys here, whereas we're talking about something that is in the kidneys that's been dormant in us for thousands of years, that given enough water can come back online, some type of hormone or some type of microscopic organism. It's like the alien. What's that?
So are you saying the water that comes through your spigot, is that good for you?
No. That's you shouldn't be drinking that at all. But for most dead people out there, they're gonna see. The thing about it is, the only people that still drink sink water is black people, mainly underclass black people in that, for the lack of a better word, or people who are just so-called dead black people that just don't know enough to know that you shouldn't drink that. You see what I'm saying and all. But because we do know that it's catching on, because in the mid-90s, we could go to the store and you could always find the still water and spring water. It was in on abundance. Now the first thing to leave out is the distilled water, and a lot of the good water get passed up. That means black people are catching on for some reason and stuff like this. But still, yet they're doing some stuff with the actual water, with the actual water. But one of the keys here is to still keep people dehydrated. So here again, the sodas getting cheaper. You see what I'm saying? The soda's getting cheaper. They have sodas on one side of the aisle, and the other side of the aisle they have potato chips. You see, they go to because all that shit dehydrates you.
So you're saying the bottled water.
Well, my point here is this here. See,
drink water though.
See, my thing is this here. My thing here is the body has a certain amount of things in it. See, this is what happened about conscious people. What we don't realize is, once you become conscious and go to a certain vibratory rate, your body automatically starts producing a certain amount of energy that purifies your body just on you becoming to a higher level of consciousness. Because if your heart chakra wasn't pulsating at a certain level of consciousness, you wouldn't be conscious. You would be dead out here running around. I don't want to hear this stuff. Because other people's consciousness is down in their sacral vertebrae. And that's the reason why you can talk to them all day long and they're not going to hear it, because their consciousness is down in their root, in their anus. It's the eighth chakra in the anus, and it's down there asleep. So it's not going to get anything but what the society tells it to get, and they have to be trained on the information to accept it. And that's information that's coming from the subconscious, conscious mind. But your stuff is coming from the heart chakra. So therefore, because you're conscious, you're automatically producing a certain amount of energy to purify. So regular distilled water or some types of spring water and stuff that you can buy is enough for your body to purify it. But what they're doing is that they're trying to shut down those particular people by still putting shit in the sink water. You see what I'm saying? In the sink water. But the key here is, we're not just talking about water for good health. We're talking about a dormant organism that's in your body, that has been in your body since you've been down here. that used to flourish as a god form thousands of years ago, but is dormant. And they know now that the cycle being what this cycle is, only thing needs to wake that up is to get this element added back to it. It was in the movie The Faculty. Remember the faculty had this little pod, and they put it in the water and it sprouted those things in that movie. That's the same thing. So now all of the 90s and most of the early 2000s, you drink the water, just give you your regular effect. It's for health wise, the dehydration. But what we're talking about now, they know that there's something that's dormant in us that can trigger any day now. So therefore, it's key for dehydration. For dehydration, that's the key. Dehydration and sleep deprivation is the #1 killer for people in the country. You see what I'm saying? And also they know that the dehydration is the #1 killer, and also they know that that they can keep that particular aspect. There's some amphibious, aquatic type of thing that's inside of you that can come online and stuff like that. And also that's why they're still trying to shut that down. You see what I'm saying? They're still trying to shut that whole thing down. You see, so that's very key. We're gonna go deeper into some of that stuff also tomorrow, because it's a couple of other things also. But that's one of the things also that has a lot to do with some stuff. Give me some questions.
Mm-hmm. You were talking about the ancestral link. Recently, I've just been getting a lot of information to great-great-grandfather, stuff like that. I was talking to somebody yesterday about that. How does that link in to us as ones who are conscious? What should we more honor that?
Well, what is happening here is now let me show you what's happening here. Let me show you exactly what's going on here. I went to New York a month ago. I went to New York about a month and a half ago. And I had gone in March, and I went again at the end of April. I did a tape called The Conspiracy of Hip Hop. A tape called A Conspiracy Against Hip Hop. And Brother Darrell got him back there. And I went up in there, and the brother wanted to do some stuff. And so I started to do this lecture on hip hop, and I just thought that it was going to be a segment in what I was going to deal with, and I was going to deal with about a good 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But as it kept unraveling, the mysteries into this thing kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the mysteries until there was so much conspiracy going on with the hip hop thing until it came out a whole tape. And it got deeper and deeper and deeper and did a whole tape. Now, while I was up there, so it's a badass tape on hip hop now. And Brother Darrell has them. While I was up there, the brother kept saying, look, we got these, he got all these people that was hung in lynching, the 100-year lynching. He said, I want to do something next time on the lynching thing. I said, well, cool, or whatever, So the next time I came back, he said, I want to do this thing on lynching. He said, I tried Brother Dawood, tried a couple of people, and they only spent like a couple of minutes on it. I want to do a real, so I said, well, shit. I said, well, hell, well, you see the pictures and all. I said, but as far as the mystery behind it, let's see what happens as far as the spirit. So I split the stuff 4 ways as far as the elixir. And I said, I'm going to let the motherfuckers that died come and do the shit. And they're going to set the tone on what they want. This whole thing about all holding them down. And them others come back, they was talking shit about the cracker. And was mad. And anyway, I did a whole tape. So I brought that tape in, and Brother Darrell is recording them, and he got them here too. It called The Attack of something of the Warlords. What's the name of it?
I'm not sure.
The Spiritual Attack of the Warlords. Anyway, it's a tape on the 100 years of lynching, and the spirit started coming out in there, and them motherfuckers came back, and I was talking, and the same time I was talking, I was like I was going to sleep. But what it was putting me in trance, and they was coming through. And what it is I realized these ancestors, man, they want their voice heard. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they was coming back through me, and I did 6 hours and broke the shit down, and even in the middle of the taping on, and the brother who had done some of the research, we started collaborating, and in the tape it came out, the brother even showed me in the tape, he showed me a person, he said, look at that guy right there, and we talking, and it got this black man being hung. And right beside, he said, you see that guy there? I said, well, who that? He said, that's Prescott Bush, George Bush's grandfather, George Bush Jr., grandfather, and the George Bush Sr. that just got out of prison, his fucking daddy. He's standing right there, and a motherfucking black motherfucker getting hung. And I'm saying, well, look here, this is the kind of motherfuckers you got running shit, which proved my whole thing about the whole Klan shit was on a whole other level, and we thinking that little boy with the chew in the back of is the Klan. That's just the foot soldier that they put out there that they even had a war against to clean up because they got out of hand. But the real shit is these crackers that Lord over our life every day. And George Bush Senior, well, Prescott Bush, the grandfather Bush, is standing right there, and the black man being hung. It was a whole bunch of shit. And so, but the ancestors came through. So now what's happening here is, we're going to go into some of that tomorrow, is the ancestors now are coming back through. But the thing about it here is come to find out that guess where they live? They live inside your DNA. That's their home where they go. They are inside of the damn DNA. You see what I'm saying? That's their home. That's where they actually live, inside of your central nervous system. You see? Inside of their central nervous system, there's a book called Demons of the Inner World, and they talk about dead people in one's head. But in there, they live inside of the central nervous system. And so therefore, they are now coming there, and what's happening is this here. You had 2 realms. You had the ancestral realm, and you had this physical realm, and as a result, one realm was weaker. That realm started becoming stronger now, because this realm is petering out. So that ancestral realm now is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why the people got sick on the boats out there, on those cruise ships recently, because those was out there in those waters where they had all them slaves, and those was those particular cruise ships. Those are the ancestors fucking them up. Look out for more sharks coming this summer. You see what I'm saying? In the water, biting people, because those are ancestors. You see what I'm saying? Getting into the damn sharks. You see what I'm saying? A lot, and I believe also too, because like I said, I was on a flight today, but the last 2 flights I was on, man, the plane could barely stay up there. And I would be questioning shit if I didn't have my shit all hooked up. But the ones I was on in May, it was raining, so I was just figuring it was still might have been the weather. But the day when the sun was shining, I go, oh, I get it. There's some shit up here. There's some shit that's happening up here in the winds. But guess what? The ancestors are the fucking winds. So I told the people, I said, look, to start the magic, when I was in Pittsburgh, I said, we're going to start the magic today. We tell these people this tomorrow too. The magic starts, the first basis of magic is to control the elements. Well, the best way to control the elements is to control the weather. So if you can control the weather, you can control every aspect of your life if you can start with the weather. So I had been started controlling the weather, man, about 4, 5, 6 years ago. And one time I was in Indiana when Brother Darrell used to have me up there, and I tell the motherfucker, you better not rain. You know these goddamn niggas ain't coming out here do no lecture and it rain. And it wouldn't rain. And we do the whole lecture. One time we did the lecture, as soon as we stepped out the building, from the lecture over, they would start pouring down cats and dogs. And so when I was in Pittsburgh 3 weeks ago, I woke up and it was raining. I said, you black motherfuckers, you know better than this goddamn shit. I said, don't worry, motherfucker, it better not be raining when I step in that goddamn lecture. See, I'm talking to the same ancestors. When I stepped in the lecture, that shit was sunshine. So I told the people to control the weather. So the next day, they said, you notice it didn't rain? And I said, yeah, because the forecast said it was supposed to rain all that weekend. They said, you know it didn't rain. I said, damn, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful that Sunday compared to what it was the day before, and I had it sun shining. But this Sunday, They had a little party for me, and when I went there and all, it was beautiful. I'm like, damn. They was like, man, we was controlling their weather. So that's one of the ways to do it, but it also has to do with the ancestors. You see what I'm saying? Also, that is the force that is returning. I'm gonna deal with some other stuff tomorrow, but that is the force that is also returning. Is that particular ancestral force that what you're talking about? You know, where they talk about the dead shall outnumber the living. What's that?
Hey, what you think about, like, I think it was like about 200 tornadoes within the Midwest?
Yeah. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
They said the most they've ever had in recorded history in one day, in a couple of hours, 200 and something. You see what I'm saying? Now the cracker ain't got that kind of energy to do nothing, even with HARP or nothing like that. That was just some straight up thing, whereas they came in and they said they wiped whole towns off the map. There are some towns that they say the fucking towns are no more. Now it's interesting because I always talk about in my lecture about an entity that I pulled down when we went to the Jackson Pimpson Mounds, these Native American mounds, and we pulled this entity down called Thunderdog. Now I talk about this in my lectures about this Thunderdog entity. And it's interesting because they showed on the news that one of the ones that was hard as hit was Jackson, Tennessee, right there with the Thunderdog. I said, oh shit, that's Thunderdog. That's fucking Thunderdog. The same entity that we went and pulled from a Native American, when we invoked him, and he told us to build altars to him, he was a Native American farmer, Banubas, from the Native American burial ground, the same entity, that same place. I'm quite sure the burial ground didn't get hit, but they got, they were Native American mounds. That same place.
That's kind of crazy, son. I seen a cartoon was recently called Underdog. It's my little dog eat pills and shit and get strength.
Well, this is a whole other entity though. This is Thunderdog. This is a Native American spirit, a form of Anubis and also too. And he got hit. Mm-hmm. What's that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's that?
Yeah. No one never mentioned. We always talking about Egypt, right? I've been going back to my Indian ancestry. Nobody never talked about that part of us being here before even coming on the ship. And I've been having a lot of dreams being out with the Indians. My granddaddy was Indian, right?
Yeah.
And nobody never mentioned about the Indian part of our that's coming back in. All that tornadoes and storms, the Trail of Tears, all that stuff is working right, tearing the same place.
The whole connection, the whole doggone, the whole connection.
Yeah. With
that whole thing. You see, it's all connected, and on that cracker know it too. Yeah, that's why the cracker took the. Here he goes again. That's why he got foreign soldiers over here. And what they do, they put them in the desert, although there was some energy over there. That ain't nothing but some damn burial ground. That's the damn wilderness. The hotbed, the ultimate jump, the shit gonna jump off here. And that's why they had to get foreign troops to lock down this shit. That's what's on all these doggone bases.
Lately, I've been getting my sleep confused with reality. Lately, I've been going to sleep at night. I mean, this has been going on for some weeks now. I've been waking up in my damn sleep. And I'm waking up and I'm seeing motherfuckers standing around me. Then I got people in the background. I recently started to realize these are motherfuckers in the background. But I'm waking up and I got motherfuckers pushing me back down. And it's like water shit is falling over my face and stuff. And I mean, I'm like, and I'm fighting, and next thing you know, I'm waking up and I'm pushing the covers like that.
Well, a lot of times,
I mean, that's some crazy shit. What is it? What's up with that? What do you know about that?
Well, a lot of times when they say that, some people say they wake up and there's some people around them and all, and they put them back to sleep or whatever. I've heard instances where they're working on them. You have a lot of entities that will come and they will work on you spiritually. They're opening up certain centers and they're doing certain things like that, and they work on you too. So that has a lot to do with things also too.
No. I don't think these motherfuckers working on me. I think they fucking with me. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I could have sworn I heard somebody in the background say, "This motherfucker say he gonna kick our ass."
That's probably true.
Well, it could. Well, I do know. You can have those type, where you can have certain things like that too. I do know certain things.
And as far as I know, you ain't supposed to feel pain in your damn sleep. Somebody stabbed me with some shit.
Well, there is such thing as spiritual war on a certain plane also too. But you can block all that out by doing certain, hooking your house up with certain things that they can't even enter. What's that?
Yeah, I had this friend last time you came. You were talking about this energy lavador and the gate that opened, and a lot of entities came in, and they were going to begin to deal with sisters, particularly via the sexual route.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I know somebody that they came in and she didn't know what to do, and now they labeling her as schizophrenic.
Right, yeah.
And
unfortunately,
what can that individual do, because she does not have a knowledge to deal with that, and they are countering that with medication, and she's saying she's constantly feels.
Well, I want to ask you, does she believe? She doesn't believe in none of it. Is the sister conscious, or is one of the?
She was waking up to consciousness via yoga route, and something happened. I don't know. She went to a ritual, and she got something, but she was cool to me, in terms of just talking to her. But then I didn't see her for a couple of years, and now. They put that label on and she don't know what to do.
Yeah, see, the whole thing here is a lot of stuff can be explained through information. If she was to get the right type of information to understand that these things do happen. There's people that come and entities have astral sex with you. And a lot of women experience these things. But unfortunately, like I said, if she got the doctors, you see what I'm saying? It's just gonna make the shit matters worse.
That's what happened,
You see, right?
Her mother, they took her to the doctor, and they, she says she trying to get off the medication, but she.
Well, my point here is, I know sisters that have astral sex all the time, and it's an experience. But did she freak out to the point where?
I wasn't around. But I'm saying I think she did, because now. She just don't know what to do when nobody's helping her. She is somehow accepting the label of schizophrenic. And then they really, can't define that. But, I've done some research for and found out that a lot of that could be controlled somewhat, nutritionally,
I get ready to say, because diet can also balance it out, too. But you're going to have to get off. See, that's the thing about it, though. See, here, you're going to have to get, first thing, you're going to have to get off that medication.
Detox.
You see what I'm saying? Right. You see what I'm saying and all. They got some doctors now, some of the components that they put in the medication is made to give a certain response to cool a person out. They got some doctors that also can make that stuff herbally, for a balance. But that stuff there, they probably, in this particular case, it's basically, they know once you go to the hospital what your shit is. Although they might not tell the family or whatever, they might claim they don't know. They know what time it is. So therefore, the medication that they're doing is to keep her crazy. You see, and to make her schizophrenic. You see, it goes from a spiritual episode to a schizophrenia type thing. And the sad part about it is that she's just going to have to find some kind of way to break her loose, because your family, boy, see, that's a whole nother dilemma. They get a hold, and it's a matter of people that don't know versus the people that do know, and the people that don't know, you know what I'm saying, is in the majority. So that's the first step, is to get away from that. And then, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the diet, the detox, that's one thing. And then if she can find some type of knowledge, or she could either work, there's some certain entities that can also help her. Like those three sisters, Otisha, T.H., and Shayola, those entities can actually help her. You see, and there's other ones that came forth. We're going to get into some more. We up to like 21 of them, but there's at least 10 that's active right now that she can work with. We're gonna give those also. What's that? Come on, yeah.
Do you see any connection between AWAS and Aleister Crowley in this new movie with Morgan Freeman and Jim Carrey?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to try to check out now. I haven't been able to see it yet, so I can do it. One sister saw it and all, but I don't think she knows enough about the esoteric world to really decipher it and all. You see what I'm saying? And all, other than the shit being funny. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to check that out so that I can see what this thing here is and all, and see what that whole thing, because that's a good observation with the AWAS thing. A tall, dark man, and is, you know, they say in his 30s, but they do have Morgan Freeman still playing God up in the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to go see what the stuff is and just get past the who's playing what, and just to see the science, because they've already put Morgan Freeman as God. Well, they had him as the president damn near 3-4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? That's 3-4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So they already did that and all. So what you're saying, a hell of a statement. And it broke the same, I think it broke the Friday. Matrix came out on Thursday. It came out on Friday. So why the hell you going to put something out right up under the Matrix? Jim Carrey is big enough star to come out a weekend by his damn self. Why they going to put something right after that if they ain't trying to cover something up? And even if it don't say nothing, just for the mere fact you got Morgan Freeman as God says a lot within itself. You see what I'm saying? A black man as God says a lot within itself. You see what I'm saying? You see, that's amazing right there. You see, but to put it up under the Matrix, and so the Matrix could purposely overshadow it. They ain't stupid now. You see what I'm saying? You got all the summer blockbusters. You could put it out in July. They put it out right up under the Matrix, and it just so happened that why would they put a movie like that right up under the day after the Matrix to come out, and then they got the black man playing God? That's not by mistake. That's not by mistake at all. You know what I'm saying?
You got a so-called black woman playing God in the damn Matrix.
Well, yeah, right.
She's the mother of the Matrix.
Yeah, right. So that which one day they announce she's God, and the next day, what's her name is? Which is interesting. You made the observation with that, because the simple fact is we do know that a lot of times they'll put 3 or 4 movies out, and all the movies they put out at the same time tell the story. Or they'll put one out a year before and a year after that, like Dark City came out the year before Matrix. And get Dark City and get the Matrix and stuff, and you get a whole, it extends the information that you get in Matrix 1 if you get Dark City and put it together and all. So here it is on Thursday the 5th. During the eclipse, they announced that the black woman is the mother of the Matrix, and the next day they come out with Morgan Freeman as the father. Here's this whole thing here, and all this good observation and stuff, because that's how shit goes, and all also too, you know.
Well, when I was seeing the first scene in The Matrix, you know, the spirit told me to go back and revisit the movie Tron. The word movie Tron and Matrix is almost synonymous. How you have a thing out there called an artificial entity, which is your artificial you, that somebody's using you. They call them users. You got a spirit, you got a person in the real world using you in the cyber world.
Well, see, also get see, because they've also said that before you had the Matrix, you still had Terminator 1 and 2, which is the same thing. It was the man versus the machines.
Yeah.
And they was coming to get John Connor, who was a messiah that taught them. Remember, Connor came and they said he taught us how to defend ourselves and fight against the machine. Well, in the Matrix 1, they said the guy that was the spirit in Neo, before he taught them how to fight the Matrix and stuff. So you got to look at that, and then we see Terminator 3 coming out again also too. Yeah. And although the Hulk looks mighty motherfucking, this computer generation, they can go kind of crazy, but still again, I ain't sleeping on it. The Hulk thing, they ain't sleeping on it, because it's also still talking about your anger.
And his name is Bruce. And Bruce is means Bruce.
And what Bruce Banner. Yeah, right. Your
Bruce
anger.
Almighty.
Oh yeah, Bruce Almighty, but I'm talking about the Hulk.
What I'm saying, his name is Bruce. And Bruce, I mean, because I do a lot of research on names. It's another word for Bruce.
Yeah, okay.
Or brutish.
Well, we'll see. Well, you got the Hulk coming out, and I'm not gonna sleep on it. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna sleep on it because it's It's just like, take for instance, you have
It's another form of
Godzilla.
melanin, bruise. Because if you hit somebody that's pale,
Oh,
they bruise. And they turn what?
everything is everything. Like this, they had the Godzilla that came out in '98, the big blockbuster, which was good. Then they had Godzilla 2000 came out, which is in the traditional Godzilla movie, which was the one, it's the regular old format and stuff like that. But they said, but a lot of those drop a lot of science in them. A lot of those drop a lot of science in them and stuff. Yeah.
You were saying your anger, then you.
Yeah, your anger is good. When you really want to get these spirits to act, most of your anger is projected outward, but if you really want to get them to act, get angry. And a lot of times that's what really, because that's a lot of, see, what we're talking about here is this here. A lot of things that was encoded into the religions, I'm not talking about spirituality, religions of 2,000 years ago, that was to shut people down so that they could be obedient to society, so the Romans could rule, and later on, and different things like that. If you go to the ones prior to religion, and you go back to the ancient mystery system, you had these warrior heroes. Hero, the word hero is Heru. So you had these warriors, and a part of their messianic trait was to get angry. Same thing with fucking damn Morpheus. I mean, what's his name? He kicking ass in this goddamn movie. He ain't sitting back talking about Mary had a little lamb. I mean, Neil and stuff, and Morpheus. So your anger is a combat, but on the other side, anger stirs these entities up inside of you. You see what I'm saying? These entities. And a lot of times when shit ain't working right with me, it's because I ain't got mad enough. You see what I'm saying? Then shit start to work, because that's a force. So here's also, so your anger can also be a force. Remember, it was in the movie Spawn. The guy was telling him about, you got it, you got the force and stuff, and you got the anger and stuff, and you just don't know how to use it. But nevertheless, they were supposed to do about 2 or 3 of those movies and stuff like that and all. They did the one, but that's when they was really supposed to go into some stuff. You see what I'm saying? With his cape and his melanin and all that kind of stuff. And they still got all that in the comic book series that you can buy. But the anger is good. That's a force. And I'm not talking about some stuff that I invented. That's in the Sanskrit text. That's how Shiva, which is also Horus, when Shiva gets mad, he burns up shit with his third eye. So he raises the Kundalini through his third eye, and that's when he burns up shit.
You destroy time too, right?
Yeah, destroy time and all this kind of thing here. So anger is good. So the whole hope thing is coming out, this type of thing, They're doing all this type of stuff. At this particular time, they monitoring shit. They know, man, they're saying people so